Well, it's been a long day at the Capitol. We started caucus at 8 and session at 10, and the Education Omnibus Finance Bill was before us, and it was a good probably 8 or 9 hours of debate. And as well it should be. It's the largest financial piece of our budget, and of course it's our most important piece as well, which is making sure that our children are well educated. There were some interesting things in the Education Finance Omnibus Bill. One piece important to the Rochester School Board was the compensatory funding. You asked me to try and extend that funding so that you had rather than just 5% local control over how you use that funding according to your plan, to increase that. And I can tell you that I offered an amendment today to increase that to 15%. That amendment was accepted. It's currently now part of the Education Finance Bill. So that was a good piece. There's also some other good pieces in that bill, reading core, math core, and there's a significant piece as well, and that is integration aid. I know that our district works well with that. We receive a significant amount of integration aid, and integration aid had been repealed in the prior year and then reinstated this year, and it was reinstated according to address the concerns of the Office of the Legislative Auditor. You might remember that there were great concerns about integration aid. We knew it in our district. We knew that there was incredibly disproportionate and unfair funding. And I'm glad to tell you that this year we were able to eliminate that funding disparity, and there are no longer districts that receive greater amounts than the cap in integration funding. So we made the funding more fair, but most importantly, we've made the focus of that program on student achievement. So integration funding now is based upon measuring student growth, and there's a provision in there that if student growth is not met, then 20% of integration funding will be withheld from the next year. So there's some great accountability in there. All of those things were addressing the Office of the Legislative Auditor's concern about integration funding, things that we knew in our district were problematic. Now, I will tell you that today I voted against the bill, but I'm hoping it gets better as it comes back from the House. The Senate bill only put about $52 on the per pupil formula, and we know that's really the best place because then you as a school board have more local control over that dollar, over those dollars and how they are used. The House, on the other hand, has about $200 on the per pupil formula, and so I will be working towards more of a compromise towards that House position, which provides more local control for you. But things will continue on here at the legislature. As I said, the education bill was passed out of the Senate today. There were a couple other concerns with that education bill as well. One concern was that it delayed the teacher evaluation by 1 year, and the concern about that is that we received our No Child Left Behind waiver based on the fact that we had teacher evaluation in place, and so now that might be at risk, and so that's a little bit of a concern. There's a good piece in the bill about better aligning our testing, our graduation testing with higher education requirements and entrance requirements, and that is a really good piece. It's more of a suite, so one test will qualify for both graduation, college entrance, and college placement. So that's a good alignment piece and a streamlining piece. The concern at this point is that there's no required score that you have to have in order to graduate. So that's a piece that we're still working on as well. The House passed its bill. Now they will go to conference committee. The conference committee will come back to the Senate where it will have another vote. That will be our final vote on the bill. And the House will also vote on that same final conference committee report, and then it will go to the governor for a signature. I'm hoping that it's something that will be good for our students, ensuring student achievement, making sure our kids enter school ready to learn and graduate ready for college and career. I do think I have a good chance of being on the conference committee. I've worked hard, and I forgot to say that the integration reform piece was actually my amendment. So the integration reform that I talked about was my amendment. Senator Torres Ray accepted that amendment, certainly was very much in support of that amendment, and I've continued to work very closely with the chair. Chances are I'll be voting for the education education policy bill, and I think there's going to be one conference committee with both finance and policy. So I am hopeful to be on that conference committee. It's been a long day. We're just starting the Health and Human Services bill, and it must be about 8 o'clock at night. I know my last amendment for the HHS bill is number 80, so we have a lot of amendments to go. It'll be a long night. You're welcome.